Hi, and welcome to Unit 2 here in Intermediate Accounting 1. This week, the chapters that we're going to be talking about here is chapters 3 and 4. And as you work your way through chapter 3, what you should notice is that a lot of the concepts and the ideas should be fairly familiar from survey and managerial accounting. We're going to continue to kind of just take a deeper dive of further step in each of these different areas, each of these different content areas. So as we look at chapter 3 here, we're talking about receivables and sales, continuing to look at financial statements, and again, just taking a little bit deeper look at some of the disclosure requirements and how things are reported on the financial statements. If you recall from survey, preliminary accounting classes, the idea of adequate disclosure. So here in chapter 3, we're starting to get into that. We're starting to evaluate those things as we have this situation, we have this transaction, we have an account balance. Now, how do we need to publish that in our financial statements? Do we need a special item on our income statement or on our balance sheet? Do we need to have a footnote requirement in our notes to our financial statements? So as you work your way through the chapter, that's kind of the nature and the content that you're going to be encountering. As you get towards the end of the content, here in chapter 3, you're going to be looking at how, back to some ratio analysis and some calculations that should be familiar to you from survey, managerial, maybe a finance class, and that sort of thing. You also get a little further exposure into the annual reports, the financial statements, audit opinions. Again, it's not an auditing class, but as you start to look at those things, the way I always remember it is that an unqualified opinion is the best audit opinion. Well, why is that? Because the auditor says you're good to go. They're not qualifying it at all. I really like accounting, but the financial statements are complete, but the financial statements are pretty good, but, okay, all those things, all those buts in that sentence are all qualifications of that the financial statements are complete. So an unqualified opinion is just that. It's unqualified. No buts about it. You're good to go. You got a clean bill of health. You're healthy, but that's qualified. So that's kind of a little bit of introduction into that area of this week's unit. As you work your way through chapter 4, again, you're going to start to just kind of take a little bit deeper dive. Here we're looking at, let me just toggle over here on my screen, get my notes here. What we're talking about there is we're talking about the income statement and the statement of cash flows. Again, just taking a little bit deeper dive. But again, a lot of this content should be fairly familiar to you from your survey and managerial classes. You're talking about a classified income statement. You're talking about a statement of cash flows. Here we're going to get a little bit into the direct and indirect method on the statement of cash flows. So that might be a little bit new for you, and how those two work. But again, the review content and the slides and in the chapter should be able to help you through that area fairly easily. And again, for the most part, it should be a little bit like a review at this point still. And again, chapter 4 kind of wraps up with some more financial analysis and that sort of thing. And as we go through here, a lot of that financial analysis is really used by management, absolutely, but also by auditors as well, to try and kind of gauge some areas that might be of risk as they're starting to evaluate the risks associated with this financial statement audit that they're going to conduct for a given company. So again, lots of examples through the PowerPoint slides that are out there on Moodle that'll help you through and see some real numbers from Under Armour and Hershey and Nike. A lot of real world examples so that you can see how these companies are reporting their financial information. So good luck with the content this week. Got another another unit with 2 chapters to work your way through. So I look forward to reading your discussions on the discussion boards. And again, feel free to reach out to me, email, text, phone call. I'm here to help you. So please let me know if you have any troubles or questions or just want to talk about something, whatever the case might be. So look forward to reading your discussions, and good luck. Thank you.